On scene with Chandler PD that they say they seized over 50 special needs pets from the home.
Hi, I'm Katie Cleary, president and founder of World Animal News and Peace for Animals, and I'm here with Shira Astroff, who's the president and founder of Animal Rescue Mission. And we wanted to sit down and talk with her today a little bit about the recent hoarding case that took place in Arizona, that you had 3 dogs involved with.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about how this all started and how you guys were involved.
I had adopted, over the course of 3 years, 3 special needs dogs to a woman who I knew as Sammy, and I thought she was this amazing home. I was just completely fooled. I got the call, I think it was September 4th of 2023, and my world crumbled. I found out that this woman, April, is a now very well-known animal abuser, hoarder. She's been doing this for years. She's been caught before. I ended up flying out there, and what she was doing to these dogs was an absolute nightmare. It was like nothing I'd ever experienced.
So how many dogs did she have, and where did the dogs come from? Were they multiple rescues? I know you had 3.
She adopted my dog Bailey. She had claimed that she had 1 other dog, and her con was so good. She had an Instagram page purely for me and my followers. So I watched for a year what I thought was my dog Bailey living his best life. And her con with the other rescues was she actually had a 501c3 rescue for special needs dogs. And all of these rescues, really great rescues, thought that they were sending their special needs dogs to a rescue that was taking amazing care of them. I mean, she was on the news as being this hero for special needs dogs. She was on the Dodo, she was on Inside Edition. The day that she finally got busted, they recovered from her house 55 dogs and 5 from the freezer. And that's not counting all of the other dogs that she had already killed, she had hidden. It was unlike anything anyone's ever seen.
And I know that she has multiple charges against her. Now she's being charged with animal cruelty, I know that, and hoarding. So when you found out about this, how did you take action? And I know that you went in with several groups, and you actually went to the home, and I saw the footage.
So the night that it really became real for me, I was in New York visiting my parents, and somebody sent a video of my dog Chester. He looked like he was dying, screaming for help. That's the video that like made national news. And I hopped on the first flight out that night. I flew to Arizona, went to her house. As soon as I got out of my Uber, the smell of death in the air, I still think about that and get nauseous. This is Rudy.
This is Rudy. So this is one of the dogs that...
This is my dog that didn't make it.
Didn't make it. And so what happened with Rudy and Chester?
Overall, over the course of 2 years, she had adopted Bailey, and then she adopted my 2 bonded dogs, Chester and Rudy, and we were convinced that her entire life was our 3 dogs. I was the most worried about Chester when I saw that video, and once they got all the dogs out, they got them to the Arizona Humane Society, and somebody from the inside was kind of giving me updates on the dogs, because everything was very hush-hush because it was an abuse case. And then I got the call that Rudy had to be euthanized because his injuries were so bad. And
what kind of injuries? Because I know in hoarding cases, I mean, obviously there's feces and there's, you know, it's a mess. I mean, I've seen many hoarding cases, and it's heartbreaking what happens. And I think that it's a deeper issue as far as when it comes to the person that's doing it. I think they need help.
She absolutely needs help. And I remember I felt so sorry for her because I was like, oh, she's mentally ill, she didn't mean it. And I've kind of lost all empathy for her because when I read Rudy's report, bones exposed, bones broken, septic, he was in so much pain. He was dying slowly. I have no empathy for her. She tortured these animals. Some of them stayed in cages for years.
You've got to be kidding me.
It's what she did to these dogs. Some of them are making amazing recoveries, but a lot of them didn't make it. We weren't worried about Rudy. He's like the strongest one. In my heart of hearts, I think that he kept Chester alive. He looked out for Chester. I don't know why it was him that didn't make it, but...
Well, we know he's in heaven, and you know, there's out of darkness, there's always light. What do you think the message is to those that are watching?
The positives that came out of this horrific situation are that April is going to jail. This never happened before, especially in Arizona. They have 0 animal cruelty laws. They have 0 hoarding laws. The fact that they're taking action. They've already changed the law in Arizona. It is huge. This is going to set a precedent that if you abuse an animal, if you hoard an animal, you are going to be arrested. If they had that law in place before, Rudy would still be alive because they would have gone in there sooner, but it took a really long time to get them to do anything. What it showed me and so many others is how many people came together to speak up for these animals. It's amazing. We have such a huge animal community, you know, in Arizona and LA, and there's so many people that banded together for this that we really can change laws. We can make things better. So many of us rescuers that had animals there that didn't make it, you know, we're always going to beat ourselves up about it, but the positive is that we're going to help protect future animals from this ever happening again. And Rudy, you know, I want to create Rudy's Law.
He's a cutie.
He's amazing, and he is going to help get laws changed. He's already helped get a law changed in Arizona that is going to have a domino effect.
So what's the next step in regards to what Rescue Mission's doing in regards to these beautiful dogs that you saved?
So Chester and Bailey went to amazing fosters who have just adopted them.
Amazing.
So they are living the best lives. They'll be in each other's lives forever. And as far as this case though, April is in jail. She is awaiting trial, if it goes to trial. And she is going to go to prison. I don't think there's any way out of it. She has 77 misdemeanor charges, at least 5 felony charges, which is huge.
Yeah.
Felony animal abuse charges, that's never been done before in Arizona. There's a whole slew of fraud charges that haven't even been finished yet. So she will hopefully be going to prison for a very long time.
So what's one thing that you want people who are watching to get from this interview?
The biggest thing is that you are their advocate. There were a lot of people that saw this that were neighbors to this, and they were silent. You are that person that can help them. So I think my biggest message is take action, be the hero. Don't rely on somebody else because there is no one else.
So Shira, thank you so much for sitting down and talking with us about this case. You're doing incredible work.
Thank you.
And how can people find out more information about your rescue?
You can go to our website, theanimalrescuemission.org, and we're also on social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
All right, and thank you so much for watching. For more about this case, visit worldanimalnews.com.